Hey, I'm Bill Merrill from Windham, New Hampshire, and you're watching the Astute Tourist Channel.
I'm Nancy Saulnier of Lake Alfred, Florida, and you're watching the Astute Tourist Channel.
This is Scott Roby from Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, and you're watching the Astute Tourist Channel.
Hi everyone, I'm Jen, aka Jen.Cohen. You're watching the Astute Tourist Channel here on YouTube.
Hi guys, this is Mr. Tranquilo, and you are watching the Astute Tourist Channel. Enjoy it.
Good morning, everybody. I am Jimmy, your Astute Tourist. Welcome to Thursday, Cup of Joe. It is another rainy day here in New England. Was a rainy night. It rained all night. It poured, thunder showers all night long. But it is a crazy summer so far. But good morning to everybody. Hey, apologize for all the little pop-ups and that. Last night I was trying to schedule this, and the program, of course, it's either me or the program having trouble with getting things scheduled and trying to get them to work. So forgive me for that. But good morning. We are here, and it's good to see you. I want to say go right to the chat, and we'll say good morning too. Cruising on the high seas and travel is here. Good day to you, my friend. Cruising is fun anytime is here. Cheryl with her awesome picture, big smile. Shirley is here from Glitter World. Good morning to you. Law Jones is with us. Scott from Lone Cross MTP is here. My mother is here. Nancy, good morning to you, Mom. Let's see. Mr. Tranquillo is here. Good morning to you, my friend. I was watching some of your camping and hiking videos yesterday. What a beautiful place that is. My goodness, I would hope to visit there someday. Najuma Brown is here. Good morning, Najuma. How are you, my friend? Thank you for dropping by. The Gaylors are here. John, good luck today with all that's going on with your knee and everything, sir. PMA, my friend. So we hope to see you back here next week with us and feeling better. So thank you, John, for coming by. Mr. Tranquillo says, yeah, nice intro music. It sounds like we are on our way to Hawaii by a cruise. Oh, yeah, very cool. Let's see. Jen Cohen is here. Good morning, Jen. How are you? Yes, happy pre-Friday. Jen, did you get my email? I did send you an email yesterday. Let me know if you got that. So everybody is saying good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So good morning to you all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are here doing our thing, and we try to entertain every day the best that we can. So thank you guys for coming in. John says they called me yesterday and said the surgery is at 2:30 this afternoon. Well, there you go. I hate waiting. I know when last time I had surgery, I had to wait until the afternoon as well, and it was killing me. I just want to wake up and go get it done. But I'm sure everything will be fine. We'll get you that bionic knee. You'll be like Steve Austin, Lee Majors. Hopefully you'll be able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. That would be fun. Oh, okay, Jen. I haven't looked at my email yet. We were busy last night. I'll go into that a little bit, but yeah. So Jen ordered her very own Cup of Joe Live coffee mug, courtesy of the Astute Tourist channel. So without further ado, good morning, everybody. Cheers. Best sip of the day. So yeah, I got notification that should be arriving sometime, hopefully by the first of the week, I think. So thank you so much for your support and bringing home a piece of the Astute Tourist to have with you every day. Take me in the car, have me drink with me in the kitchen. It's actually Joe, the G.I. Joe. So same as our T-shirt. But thank you for that, Jen. So I appreciate all your support. So yeah, yesterday, typical work day. We got the house pretty much back in order after the big power surge and wires down and all that craziness. Bone Tired Travelers is here. That's Denise. Good morning to you. Yeah, all kinds of craziness with the power in that. We got that in order. I got home from work, and some friends of ours from Ohio. I've been saying Indiana, but I don't know why I've said that. But they're from Ohio. Youngstown. Gosh, I'm awful. My memory is bad, but they're here for Bike Week this week. Like I was saying yesterday during our live, we have a like a Sturgis type of thing here this week. Happens every year. This is the 100th anniversary of Bike Week here in New Hampshire. All kinds of motorcycle races going on at the New Hampshire International Speedway, as well as lots of fun and merriment. Youngstown, okay, I believe that's where they're from. All kinds of fun and merriment. Weirs Beach is a big place up at Lake Winnipesaukee. It draws motorcycle enthusiasts from around the world come here, and the state is inundated with the whir of motorcycle engines throughout the whole week. So my good friends Mike and Jane are here with us and spending a few days with us. Tonight we're going to be today they're going to be heading up to the lake. I think they're going to go to the Speedway and watch some races, take a ride around the lake, and then they're going to meet us back here after Colleen and I get out of work, and we're heading out to the seacoast for lobster and some steamers, lobsters and clams and whatnot. So some scallops and some real New England seafood. So we'll be treating them to some good New England food. So we'll be doing that this evening. So should be a lot of fun. So it was good to see them. We hung out last night. Colleen had her live stream, and that's why I didn't do the hump day, because I was entertaining when they got here. We did some grilling and had a couple bottles of wine, and it was just nice. It was good to hang out and see them. I haven't seen them since the Bonita trip back in the spring, so that was a lot of fun. Right now on the Chiron, I'm showing you the our spring store. Once I get a few minutes, I'll add in our Etsy store, and that's where Jen was able to purchase the coffee mug on the Etsy store. So we'll get that up on the Chiron at some point and share that out to you. The other thing is you can still trying to get the hang of this. You can go over to our PayPal if you want to support us. That would be fantastic if you want to help support the channel. 100% of the your proceeds or your donation from PayPal will go to our channel. thank you for that anyway. But most of all, don't forget to hit that like button when you come in. We do appreciate that. So looks like we got 12 in the stream today. Good morning to you guys. Jen has just put up the link for the swag on the Etsy store. So go on over if you want to get yourself one of these cups. I do have a couple of t-shirts. They're actually t-shirts that I designed. Go over and check them out. I don't have the G.I. Joe one up yet. I'm still having an issue with copyright. Apparently, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But go on over, grab yourself a cup, and check out some of the other designs that I've come up with. All right, so let's see. It is Thursday morning. Good morning to you. The weather has been crazy. Last night it was nuts. Let me see. I'm gonna go through the chat a little bit. Okay, I left off there. Going down. John will be staying overnight. Denise says, rough weather last night and this morning. Nothing like a baseball-sized hail warning to wake you up. Oh, my God. That'll destroy cars and other things. John says they had rain and thunder and lightning, but nothing severe. Yeah, it came down. No hail, but boy, it was pouring. My mom says seafood with a crying face. That's because she's from New England, and in Central Florida, you cannot get the seafood that we get here. I've said it often, and I've said it before, that New England, I think we can boast that we have some of the best seafood in the world. The cold water definitely helps with that. Some of you warm water folks, you can get some decent fish, but nothing like what we get up here in the northern part of the state. And I know that Scott from Lone Cross, he can attest the same, and he'll back me up, I'm sure, on that. So tonight it's lobsters and steamers. We're going to head out towards Hampton, Seabrook, New Hampshire, that area, the seacoast. We'll probably have some dinner, and then we're going to drive up the coast. I'll probably drive up through Hampton and Rye, New Hampshire, and then into Portsmouth so that they can see the coast. No ocean in Ohio, so we'll show them that. But we did spend some time together, like I said, in the late winter, early spring there down in Bonita Springs, Naples, Florida area. We were down there for about a week. I should ship my mom a seafood care package. That's a good idea. I really should. I think they can get there pretty much either the same day or overnight now, the way they ship things. Have to send them down a couple real lobsters and Scott, yeah, Scott's saying the best seafood. It really is. If you like seafood, you have to come to New England. It is the best. And I caught Jane last night calling them scallops. Ooh, sacrilege. It's not scallops, it's scallops. 2 L's in that word. But anyway, it was all in good fun too. So, okay. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what the weather's going to be tomorrow. So we may be in the studio. We may be out walking. It typically would be our Friday walkabout. But who knows? This weather's been nuts. Our friends were going to stay right up until Saturday, but they may have to fly out of here tomorrow. Not fly, they're on a motorcycle, but they may have to get out of here tomorrow because the weather on Saturday is supposed to be nuts, raining and windy and that. So we'll take it as it goes, I guess. So that's why tonight we're gonna take them up and show them what the real New England ocean and seafood's all about. Chillin' Charlie is here. Good morning, Charlie. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. How come? There we go, John Gaylor. That is for you, sir. Anyways, so the weather's going to be kind of crappy on Saturday from what I understand, and we will see what happens with that. So, all right. I had something I wanted to talk about, and I forgot all about it. Isn't that like me? The absent-minded fireman. I hope everything is going well with you folks. It's been crazy. I'm still trying to learn this platform. Yesterday, we did a pop-up in the morning. For those of you that were with us, I was messing around with the program, and then we were trying to see if we could display Down Under Cruisers. We sort of did it, but there was no way for me to interact with Sean. He was doing his live stream, which would have been nighttime for him, Wednesday night, morning for us. But we ended up just jumping off and jumping into his stream on YouTube. So we did about half of the show. I did it from his live stream. So it was a lot of fun. Sean's a great guy. We had a lot of shop talk. Sean and I have a lot in common. He's an EMS trainer, and obviously I'm partly in the EMS business. But he was out in the outback off and on for the last 4 weeks, and he's out there training miners, and it's like field triage and field EMS, that kind of stuff, which is really cool. So we had a lot to talk about. And Denise was in there with us as well, from Bone Tired. Denise is an RN, so she knows all about it, and we were having a good talk about that, talking about EMS and the difference between a hospital setting and the emergency medical part of it out in the field, how it's a little bit different. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other, because it's not, but we all have different roles. But I tip my hat, and we did it yesterday, to the RNs, the ladies and gentlemen that are registered nurses. They're the unsung heroes in the hospital field. So when we talk about first responders, we include them as well. Those folks, they work hard, and they do things that they should be very proud of themselves for the things that they do. Because when we bring a patient into the hospital, it's usually we wrap them up and stabilize them the best that we can, and then we bring them and we hand them off to those folks. And that's when the real work begins. So, got to remember we're dealing with human beings. So, you have to have some humility, and there's a lot of respect that goes on. And we all deal with stress and that differently. So, it's amazing the things that those folks do. So. John says, I also tried coming in your live. I could see and hear you, but I was a black screen on yours. John, was that during when I was running the stream? I know I posted the link, right? I have to figure this out. That'll be my homework for this weekend. I'm trying to be able to display my web browser on the screen. That's one thing, so that we can do the weather and we can do shout outs. There's a way to do it. Kevin does it from Tuber Chat. and I just have to figure it out. Sometimes it's like I said, this program is good. I mean, look at I'm looking over at my iPad right now, and the picture is perfect. It actually looks better than what I'm looking at on my computer right now. It is so crisp and clear. But there's a way to figure all this out. So we want to be able to, okay, John, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'd love to have you and everybody come up. It would be great. It's one thing to sit here by myself and read the things going on in the chat, but then, it's nice to be able to talk face to face as well. So we'll get it all figured out, and that'll be some homework for me this weekend. Let's see. Denise says, thank you. We all have our jobs, right? And then she says, I deal with it with sarcasm, profanity, and inappropriate humor, right? So we use, in the field, we use a lot, and I'm sure that the RNs do this as well, but we use gallows humor. We deal with stuff that people don't normally deal with. When the car salesman goes to work, or the business person or the marketing guru, you go to work and you deal with the things that you deal with. But us healthcare workers and emergency first responders and stuff, we deal with stuff that people don't normally deal with, and nor would I want you to. It takes just the right kind of person to do what we do. But one of the ways that we deal with it is we use sarcasm, profanity, gallows humor, and it's nothing more but a way to handle the stress. So, let's see, what am I missing? So John says, I have never been live before, so that doesn't help. It can be scary if you've never done it before. But I remember my first time I had a person that was live every morning that I would watch, and she tried to get me to come up all the time. And I'm like, no, I don't think I can do this. It's not hard at all. You just jump in. It's just like talking with friends. It's like I'm sitting here with you guys individually, or we're hanging out at the coffee shop having a cup of coffee. That's what it's all about. So Jen's got the joke of the day. What do you get when you cross a fish and an elephant? Swimming trunks. Swimming trunks. I love it. Love, love, love it. Sharon, good morning to you. How are you, my friend? We're supposed to be getting more bad weather here in South Georgia around 8 a.m. this morning. Yikes. I know it's been raining everywhere. My friend Mike said that even in Ohio they've been getting the rain. Scott says, granted, I'm just an enforcement officer, which is glorified security officer. I work with active drug users and many overdoses. I know, but you're right there, Scott, right? You're usually the first ones that are there, calling 911 or activating the EMS system, as we call it. Dealing with drug users takes a special kind of person. It's hard to deal with somebody that's addicted to something. Addiction is terrible. It's I've experienced it firsthand myself. And it's awful to watch a loved one go through what they go through. And it's got to be living hell for them. So it's not easy. But Sharon says that she is great, and I'm happy for that. I hope you all are great. Mr. Paul S. Vines is here. Good morning, sir. Thank you for dropping by. Always good to have my friends in here. We have 14 in the house this morning. That's fantastic for this early in the day. It is 6:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 15, including me, of us are hanging out having some coffee. So good morning to everybody. let's see what's on the agenda for today. So today is Thursday. It's a field day for me. Hopefully the rain, they said it's supposed to stop. It looks like it may have. It did stop. So I'll be out in the field. I think I have a pretty full schedule from what I saw yesterday. Still working on the arson case, which may not be arson after all. But we're still doing the investigation. I met up with the homeowner who had the fire on Saturday. He came in to get copies of the report. And nice man. And the house that he lives in was built in the 1890s, 1893, I think he said. Beautiful, a small, beautiful old 100-plus-year-old home. And real 2x4s. For those of you people that do construction or you know what I'm talking about, real 2x4s. Actual 2x4-inch studs. 2x6s, 2x8s. Nowadays, when you go to your local supply store, a 2x4 is really a 1.5 by 2.5. Or I'm sorry, 1.5 by 3.5. So the insurance, he told me the insurance company, just because of that reason, they were considering totaling his home. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? It's a beautiful old world home. What do you mean totaling it? And he said that in order to match the construction, they would have to custom make the studs in that. Actually make 2x4s and 2x6s. And that's an extended cost. So he did say that they are going to, they're going to do the renovations and the repairs. So thank goodness he was happy as well. He doesn't want to tear his house down. I don't blame him. I mean, the fire wasn't that bad. I mean, it was bad enough. He had partial collapse of the second floor, but all of that can be repaired. There was no need to tear it down. So thank you, Jenna. Yes, remember to smash the like button. Denise says she was pushing 600 meds, making the last rounds. My gosh, you guys are awesome. I don't know how you do it. And dealing with some of the doctors, too. God bless doctors, but sometimes I've had to deal with some doctors that, man, I just don't understand how people can work around them. I'm sure, Denise, you must know what I'm talking about. Some of those guys, I mean, believe me, they're doctors. They're smart. And hopefully they know what they're doing. Most of them do, but sometimes their bedside manner is just terrible. Let's see. Sharon says, Jimmy, any news on the wires in your house? So I think I reported yesterday. So I was up from about 1 a.m. till, and never went to bed Tuesday morning into, when was that? That was Tuesday. Happened Monday night into Tuesday. So, I didn't actually go to bed until 7 p.m. Tuesday night. I just stayed up. So we have Eversource as our power company. That guy was awesome. He was here until about 4:30. And at that point, what am I going to go to bed for a half an hour and get up at 5? And I did the live. But so the news on the wiring was this. I lost 2 arc fault interrupter breakers in the panel I had to replace. We lost a surge protector for the television and some of the home entertainment stuff. We lost a fan, and really that was it. So we were lucky. We dodged a bullet. But I had if you ever have anything like that, you need to go shut the main off on your breaker panel. Just shut it off and then call the power company. Because what happens, so this is what happened. And I'm not an electrician by any means, but how it was explained to me is we had an open ground. So when the wires get pulled off the house, it pulled the ground off. And what that does now, instead of splitting the current to 110 volts, it'll throw current in a loop, 180, 200, and it'll zoom around, and light bulbs and the things in your home they're made for 110 volts, not 180, not 200 volts. So you have this weird array of crazy voltage zipping around the path, and the wires in your wall can act like an element in a toaster if you're not quick. You don't want to start burning the walls up. The wires will burn up and catch the house on fire, so just shut the main off, and that's what I did. Once I got my head together and was like, oh my God, we're having a surge. I need to go down and shut that off. And even the Eversource guy, he said, who told you to shut the main off? I said, nobody, I did. And he said, when you called the power company, they didn't tell you to shut it off? I said, no. And he was surprised by that. He says, I'm going to have to talk to them. I said, well, I've dealt with it enough in my career at other people's homes that first thing we do is if you stop the flow of energy, you'll stop what's going on. So, but the wires were, the meter was pulled off on the ground. The wires were down. You've seen my driveway. If you've seen my live streams, our morning walk streams, I have a very long driveway. It's like a road. I have a utility pole halfway down. And from the transformer on the pole to the house, everything was on the ground. So that's another thing, is you don't want to touch that stuff. That would end your day very badly. And then you'll go to somebody like Denise if you survive it. You'll go to the hospital and they'll have to deal with the burns and God knows what else. So Paul says Bone Tired Travel is a pill pusher. She actually is. But that's in her version of it, it's a good thing. Drunken Chef Barbecue is here. Good morning, sir. How are you? Hope all is well with you. Jen says she placed an order with you recently. That's awesome. I often boast about his seasonings. I haven't tried them all, but the first 3 that he had out, we have them. And the habanero that's my favorite. But thank you for coming in, my friend. Sharon says, I'm glad your house didn't catch fire. Yeah, me too. That would be a bad day. So all is good so far. Shutting off the main makes sense to me. Yep, Charlie, that's the thing. Shut off the main, you stop the flow of power into the home. And that's a good thing. So, yeah, right, Denise? It really could have been a bad outcome. I mean, it happens. I usually see it on the other side. I'm getting called to those homes that happens to, but especially at 1 a.m. when it wakes you up. And I never heard the tree come down. My son Nick said he heard the big thump. I never heard it. What woke me up was the dogs. They heard the thump and they were barking. I mean, it pulled the meter right off the house. And it's below my bedroom. I sleep above the garage. And it's on the front of the house at the garage, and I never heard it. But thank God, it woke the dogs up. They were like barking crazy. And then when I realized, so I sleep with a fan at night. And when I realized the fan wasn't going, I'm like, what's going on? And my CPAP machine was off too. And I'm like, all right, something's happening. But I could see other lights on. What the hell is going on? And then I was like, I think we lost a leg in the panel. Because that can happen. You can lose one side of your breaker panel, and then you'll only have energy to certain parts of the home. But then things were flickering and getting brighter, and you could hear things buzzing. I flipped on a light, and the light bulb popped. It got very bright and then just popped and went out. And I'm like, uh-oh, I think I know what's going on. And that's when I went down and shut the power off. Went outside, saw what was going on out there, and we called the power company. So all's good. All's well that ends well, thank goodness. So, yeah, right, Law? Good doggies. Yep, they were good babies. Yeah, it's basically a brownout. Well, sort of like a brownout. It wasn't because it was overpowered and the power went out. It was just that the wires got damaged and it pulled the ground. And when you have an open ground, it's a bad, bad thing. So anyway, so that's enough of that. All's well that ends well. Like I said, today is field day. I probably have, 7 or 8 inspections I need to do. I was scheduled to do the very last fire drill of the season for the last school that we had in town. And we happened to get a brush fire at the same time. So that didn't happen. But I allowed them to do their own. So they got that in and they're done. So the kids will be out of school probably, I think, today or tomorrow's their last day for the little lovelies in the town. And it'll be summer vacation and some parents' nightmare for the next couple months. So we've got that done. So it'll be a typical inspection day for me. My fan going off wakes me up from a dead sleep, right? I'm one of those people, I'm sure like you, Denise, I have to sleep with a fan on, even in the winter. Colleen's like, what's wrong with you? It's freezing. You have a fan on. I don't know. You can ask Nancy. I've been sleeping with a fan since I was probably 10 or 11. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Usually burns out electric motors. Right. So we lost that fan. Nick's in his room. Mine just shut off. Thank God. My fan's awesome. I love mine. His is one of those pedestal ones and easy to replace. We can get one of those. The one I have is pretty sophisticated, I guess. Like me. So let's see what else is going on tonight. We're gonna head over to the seacoast. Tomorrow, if the weather's good, we'll do the morning walk, take the puppies for the walk. If not, we'll be right back here in the studio. This weekend is Colleen's weekend to work. So I'll be just bopping around the house. If the weather's good, I'll be outside. If not, I'll be inside. And I've got to figure this program out. Denise says, fire alarm went off in the hospital at 6:50 last night. Respiratory department set off the smoke detectors, cooking something in their department. Yep. We call that smells and bells. It's usually, that's, if you're going to have an alarm, those are the ones that you want. Somebody burnt their dinner, set off the fire alarm. Although in a hospital, that's not a good thing. In a hospital setting. I'm sure you guys have a lot of shelter-in-place policies depending on the type of alarm that you have. So, Charlie says it's 59 degrees and overcast here at the moment. Let's see, what do I have here? Here in beautiful downtown Burbank. I don't live in Burbank. If you're familiar with Johnny Carson. It is 58 degrees and mostly cloudy here in the beautiful great state of New Hampshire and southern New Hampshire. Let's see, what's the forecast for today? It's 58 degrees now and mostly cloudy. Partly cloudy conditions from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. with mostly sunny conditions expected at 5 p.m. Today's temperature range is from 55 to 75 degrees. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty good day. What are we looking at for tomorrow? Tomorrow, Friday's low will be 57 between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. and the high will be 80 degrees between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. So it looks like a decent day for tomorrow, but Saturday is the one that my friends are worried about. So Saturday will be low 57 at 12 a.m. and the high will be 63 degrees. And it looks like, it's going to rain all day on Saturday, it looks like. I'm looking at all the way till the evening. Yeah, it's going to rain all day. So they're probably going to head out tomorrow and start heading west. Heading back home. And then in July, they're going to be going out to Colorado to go visit with my good friend, my other good friend. They're going to go hang out with them in Colorado. And we called them and they're like, Jimmy, you're not going to come out too? I'm like, no, unfortunately, I cannot. I wish I could. Has any of you been to Colorado? It's beautiful. What a beautiful state. I don't know if I'd like to live there, but it's a real fine state to visit. And it's a big state. You can probably fit 3 New Hampshires or more in one Colorado. It's bigger. It's funny, too, the further you head west, the bigger the states get. Some big country out there. I've been to Colorado, I think, 3 times. And it's a beautiful state. It's a lot of fun. We've been from the northern part to the southern, pretty much the southern part, and eastern and western. I've been to all the corners. And what's crazy to me is you can drive south to north, and you never stop seeing the Rockies. So when you're traveling north, those Rocky Mountains are on your left-hand shoulder, and you follow them the whole way north. And we're talking hours. Driving. It's a beautiful state. Drunken Chef says he's been to Colorado Springs. It is beautiful. Yeah, I actually landed. My first time I went is I flew into Colorado Springs. My best friend lives in a town called Coaldale, and it's closer to Colorado Springs than it is Denver. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up. Yeah, it is a beautiful state. Sharon says, I hope to Denise, I hope you all don't have any tornadoes. I hope not either. 58 here, supposed to get to 82 later. Yeah, and I think it's going to be nice, hopefully, when we drive out later this afternoon out towards Hampton. I'm sure Scott's very familiar with Hampton, and you know where it is anyway. We're going to take the roof off the Jeep and drive out. We'll probably have to put it back on before we come back home, but it'll be nice to have the top off for a change. We're getting a lot of rain here. It's been crazy, the amount of rain we've had. It's funny, it's feast or famine. We were complaining at the end of the spring there we hadn't had any rain. And now it's done nothing but rain. We had that big 5-acre brush fire. We're like, oh, we could use some rain. And then the rains came. And it rained and rained and rained, and it continues to rain. What are you going to do? Just got a notification from Eddie Lugo Studios. So he'll be up, I'm sure, at 7:15-ish, 7:10. He's never on the hour. He may be. What does it say what time, Sharon? I actually could look here. Colorado is beautiful. Glenwood Canyon. Yeah, we did a lot of traveling over there. Lost says I'm going topless. Yeah. Probably something you don't want to see. But that's true. We're going topless. I remember looking at the Rocky Mountains from my window above in a plane. I flew over them and took some decent pictures of them. That's Charlie. Yeah, Charlie, it's you should see them from the ground. And then driving up, we went to a place called Estes Park. There's a hotel there called the Stanley Hotel. I think I've talked about this before, but we stayed at this hotel called the Stanley Hotel. If you're familiar with the Stanley Steamer, which is a steam-powered car, the guy that invented and developed that built the Stanley Hotel because his name was Stanley. That is the hotel that Stephen King stayed in when he wrote The Shining. It's definitely an old world hotel, Gilded Age hotel. It's kind of scary, but fun at the same time. We were looking for ghosts. Didn't see any. But that's in Estes Park, Colorado. It's right there at the foot of some of those Rockies. They call those mountains Teeners because they're 12,000 up to close to, I think, 14,000+ feet. Tallest mountains I've ever been on. We drove up to 12,000 so feet, and there's a walking path up these stairs that go to the top at about 12,300, 12,400 feet. Climbing up that 300 feet was quite a chore. It's a hard time to breathe up there. Very hard to breathe at that height. Law says, so Eddie's planning on 7:15, but often starts earlier. Yeah, that's usually his MO. Scott says, I had my honeymoon up in Laconia during the bike week, a bike rally back in 96. Yeah, there are a lot of people up there at that time. And there's a lot of people there in the summertime anyway, but bike week is crazy up there at the lake. Denise used to go topless in her Miata. Right on. I'm an advocate of going topless. Well, the right person going topless. Me? Yeah, that you don't want to see that. Maybe 25 years ago, but Eddie says 6:15 Central, but goes live at 6 because he likes to be ahead of his time. Ba-dum boom. Yes, The Shining, right? Ooh. Here's Johnny. But that's the hotel that he stayed in. I guess he locked himself in his room for several days, and he wrote The Shining there, based it on that hotel. And it takes place in a hotel in Colorado, but he doesn't call it, I don't think he called it the Stanley. And the one that they filmed it at, I think, was in like Oregon or Washington State. Don't quote me on that, but they were huge. I could see Charlie saying he could see how big they were from the plane. Yeah, they're giant. You need to see them from the ground. They're the biggest mountains I've ever seen in real life. I know there's bigger mountains, but those are huge. And they go right up into Canada. The Rocky Mountains. The Shining, Jen says it's one of her favorite books. Yeah, I read a lot of Stephen King books, a lot of them. I haven't read them all. The Stand is probably my favorite Stephen King book. There's another one called The Talisman, and that's right up there too. They're very thick books. 1,300, 1,500 pages. The Stand, it was hard to put down. I read a lot when I was working shift work. I'd go at night after you're done for the night. I'd go up to my room and I would start to read. And some nights I'd look out the window and the sun was coming up. Just real page turners. You couldn't put them down. But The Stand, I'm sure maybe some of you have seen the movie of The Stand. The Overlook, that's right. That's what it was called, Paul. Exactly. But the movies never do justice to the books. And The Stand is one of those. The original unabridged version, unedited version of The Stand. That's the one I read. Because when he first wrote it and published it, the publisher or whatever made him take some of it out. They're like, it's too long. No one's going to read this long book. So he took parts of it out. But then when it became a hit, he actually republished the original version. And it's so good. The Talisman is another one that I like. And the cool thing is that he's from Maine. And he mentions towns that are... usually they take place in Maine in his books, some of them. But the town names are from New Hampshire, some of them. He mentions New Hampshire. He talks about the Red Sox a lot, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool because, you read a book where places that I've been to. There's a town called Bridgeton in Maine. And the town that there's a book, or it's a short story called The Mist. And it takes place in a town that I think it's Bridgeton. I believe he even calls it Bridgeton. It looks very similar to what the picture I had in my head from reading the book. It's pretty cool. I never did read Pet Sematary. That's one of the ones I haven't read. But I've read a lot of his books. Michael Crichton's another writer. I've read several of his books. Grisham is another one. I don't read so much anymore. Yes, Paul, the Dark Tower series. Yeah, that's those are good. The Gunslinger series as well. Bag of Bones is one that I've read. The Dark Half. The Dark Half, that is a good book. Really good. It, yeah. Yep, it. Yeah, the giant spider thing. Yeah, if you read the book, I think you probably get it a little better, but the problem with a lot of writers, too, is they get going and then they got to end the book somehow. And even Stephen King is subject to that, too, I think, where, and trying to end it, I don't know. I'm not a writer, so. Dean Koontz, yeah, I think I've read, what's the one, is it Koontz that did the one about the dog? There was one about a dog. Not the Stephen King one. I don't know. It's been so long. Yeah, Denise, The Dark Half. Did you read that? That's so good. Oh my gosh. Dark Half is that's a really good book. I think they made a movie. The movies just never do it justice. It's so better to have theater of the mind. For me, I love that. Should watch Pet Sematary. I think I've seen the movie actually, but I didn't read the book. Cujo. Yeah, Cujo is Stephen King, right? I think there was a Koontz book, though. I remember briefly reading it back in the day. There was a guy, he could him and the dog they were subliminal. Good morning, Billy. How are you, my friend? Thanks for coming in. Good morning, my friend. It's good to see you. Hope all is well. I hope the weather is good where you're at. Oh my gosh, look at the time. Time always goes by quickly when we're having fun, doesn't it? Yes, Cujo, that's right, Sharon. But that's I think that's Stephen King, Cujo. That's about the dog that gets rabies or whatever, and you're actually in the dog's head too. I can't seem to Scott, there you go, right? 13 chapters so far. I think you told me you were writing a novel. What's the premise, Scott? What's it about? I mean, you don't have to give the whole thing away, but is it about a handsome firefighter that has his own YouTube channel? I would read that. So Cujo is Kuntz? The dog was super smart. Oh, no, I think we're talking about two different ones, right, Charlie? The Kuntz one about the dog that... Yeah, right? There's a dog, right, in it, and the guy and the dog. I forget that one, too. But I read that one... I read that one back in high school, I think. Shadows of Carpathia. That's a great name. It almost sounds, and I don't want to, but the name sounds like kind of like Star Wars-ish or something. Jen's got another joke of the day. What did the worker at the rubber band factory say when he was fired? Oh, snap. Billy, you haven't got any rain? Yeah, Cujo was written by King. Okay, that's what I thought. So look at the time. It's time to go. I hate to say goodbye. So we don't say goodbye. We just say farewell for now. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Don't forget PMA. We talk about it every live stream. Positive mental attitude. PMA will definitely save your day. When I tell you I'm living proof that it works, just believe me, because it does. If you adopt a positive mental attitude, it's going to help you. It's going to help your day, help your week, help your world, your year, help your world and your life. Positive energy definitely pushes the negative out, and you'll have a good day and a good life, and it'll change your life. Carpathia is the anti in Left Behind series. It's a murder mystery. Okay, cool. So yeah, don't forget PMA. Always think about our first responders. You know who they are. Keep them in your thoughts every day because they work night and day, 24/7. It's a selfless job, and they never ask for anything in return. They're just there keeping us healthy and safe. And those folks deserve a thank you now and then. Don't forget our men and women of the armed forces. They're on the wall every day protecting us, keeping our freedoms and liberties safe, and keeping us from harm. Yesterday was Flag Day. I really didn't get a whole time to celebrate it, but we every day is Flag Day for me. So don't forget the red, white, and blue. Remember, that's worth more than that cloth it's printed on. That's our liberties and our freedoms right there. Study your flag. Think about it. Do you know what the flag means? Do you know what the field of blue is about? Do you know why there's 13 stripes on the flag? Someday we'll do a little class. You know why there's 50 stars on there, but do you know why there's those other colors? Like I said, the field of blue, the red and white stripes, and why there's 13. That's a little homework for you to do later. So, Robbie Stingle is here. Good morning, Robbie. Good to see you. Robbie and I were hanging out yesterday in Dan's stream. I kind of came into it late. We were busy, but I want to thank everybody for coming in. I do love and appreciate you guys. You guys are great. You support me more than I could ask for. I mean, you guys are awesome. Jen, thank you. I want to thank Jen. I want to thank Mr. Tranquillo, Miss Meg, and James L. Cantonese. They're my 4 members of the channel, and I appreciate your membership each and every day. Love and appreciate you guys as well as I do the rest of you. Matt is here, Backlash Fisherman. Good morning to you, sir. Better late than never. 13 stripes for the original colonies. That's correct, my friend. All right, so I got to get out of here. That's going to do it for me. I want to wish everybody peace and love deep down in this heart of mine. Never forget that. Love each and every one of you guys. My name is Jimmy. I'm your astute tourist. Let's head over to Eddie Lugo's and give him a big astute raid. So thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow in some form, either walking or in the studio. My name's Jimmy. Bye-bye.